says it all. So much has been revealed already, but just you wait. We're asking you, hold on one more day for the big picture to become completely clear. Now, over the years, a lot of us, including me, have become known for our systems. Simple, surefire ways to find clients and help them reach their goals. And y'all, we were so good. Our Google Docs had their own Google Docs. Like literally everything you could possibly ever need. And I do mean like everything. Right at your fingertips. And Dr. Mike just told you though, companies who don't evolve are as relevant as a film camera. And since nobody wants to be irrelevant, I did a deep dive into my systems to see what needs to change. I actually made a video that shows you how simple my system makes it to get a client into fat burn. You want to see? Okay, client, let's go. First, I need you to watch this video, then I'm going to add you to 3 Facebook pages. Now make sure you put our 5 client support calls on your calendar. Yeah, I said 5. I mean, they're all so good. Who can choose? Now print off this 12-page tracker. Oh, please, in color. Then watch the journey kickoff video. Then we're going to have a kickoff call. Then I'm going to send you 47 text messages. Now, each one contains the secret of fat burn, so make sure you save them all. Then I'll call you again just to make sure that you got it. Yeah, I said again. I mean, do you want to fail or something? And then after all that, then you're ready to start your journey. And your poor client is like, man, I was literally just trying to lose 20 pounds, not take a calculus class of weight loss. Somewhere along the way, we became the IKEA instructions of health coaching. There are arrows, there are boxes, there are things that look really super important, and then nobody knows why you get to the end and there is one extra screw left over. And it is a mystery. Well, we have client retention issues. And then there's our training systems. You want to learn one simple skill? Perfect. Here's a 97-minute Zoom, followed by a workbook. And then watch these 3 recordings from 2019 because the principles are still really good. And then listen to this podcast, and then I'm allowed to add you to 17 text message threads. Then we'll schedule a call to go over everything that you just learned to make sure that you understand. And y'all, I don't know why it's so hard to start a coach. It's a mystery. So today, we're kicking it back old school, back to our roots. We are not here to make this business harder. We are here to simplify it. We are not going to take away what works. We are going to strip away everything that gets in the way of what works. Because building a business should not require, and can I get an amen from the back on this one, a 1,000-page instruction manual.
Amen.
The future, y'all, it belongs to those that make the important things simple enough that people actually do them. So let's get back to the fundamentals. Please welcome to the stage an incredible panel that's going to walk you through the 6 core actions that are the foundation of the business blueprint. I need some of those. All right, raise your hand or your Adam Burnett head if you come from an organization that operates under a system that tells you how you're supposed to grow your business. Okay, now keep your hand up if you can explain everything that a coach needs to grow to executive director using your system in 3 sentences or less. Oh wait, right? For a new coach, it's like somebody handed you a pile of lumber and a hammer and said, hey, go build a house, but they didn't give you any blueprints. And yes, we have systems, but the systems that exist today, mine included, have fallen victim to human nature and our inclination to improve things. And somewhere along the way, the fundamentals got misplaced, probably somewhere in a Google document. And every leader on this stage is the product of a different system. But their system is not the reason they're successful. They are successful because their business is actually built on the 6 core actions that you're about to see. Now, the Business Blueprint is your master tool for growing and duplicating executive directors. So, Jen, let's get these coaches ready to grow. I get to kick us off with the very first core action. It's called identify. This is just writing a list of names. Now, can I tell you guys something? This is probably the easiest action in our whole business. And somehow we've turned it into the very hardest. Seriously. We sit down with a blank sheet of paper. Who has done this? You sit down with a blank sheet of paper and suddenly you're an FBI agent. I don't think she'll do it. She drinks a lot of wine. He doesn't need it. He's a doctor. She won't be able to afford it. Her husband just lost his job and they have a daughter in college. He's already thin. He can't do it. Meanwhile, they have absolutely no idea that we have already decided their answer for them. And that's only if you're actually sitting down to write a list. A lot of us don't even have one. Raise your hand if you don't raise your hand. Don't. We think, it's okay, I can scroll social media. I'll just keep track of everyone in my brain. You can't. You cannot. You will end up down a rabbit hole that you never meant to go down. Ask me how I know. It's funny, right? But we've all done it. So here's what I've learned over the last 6 years. The coaches that make the biggest impact, they have and use a list. The biggest businesses are not built by the people who are better at predicting who will say yes. They're built by the ones who stop trying to predict in the first place. So why do I need a list? The purpose is simply to know who you're showing up for. Your business is going to give you direction every day. The purpose of putting the names on your list is not to figure out who's going to join you. It's to know who you can go talk to, who you can connect with, encourage, reconnect with, pray for, and eventually share this with them when the time is right. Because if you don't have a list, if you don't have people on a list, you'll wake up every single morning and you'll wonder what to do. Who has done that? So, as you move into writing your list, I want you to think about it like this. You guys ready? Listen up. I'm going to talk to you like I talk to my Power Hour people. Who's here? Okay, you ready? Number 1, use speed. Use speed. Drop the judgment. Just right. So I'm going to say that again. Speed, judgment, just right. You use speed so you don't overthink. If a name comes to your mind, you just write it down. You can decide what to do with it later. So right now, your only job is to capture it before it disappears from your brain. Second, no judgment. Actually, that's probably too hard for me to even ask you. Judgments pop into our brain really quickly, right? We're all little judgy judgers. I know. So when that judgment shows up, you're just going to write your name down anyways. And this one is huge. You guys listen up. You are not qualified to decide who needs this. You are not qualified to decide who needs this. You don't know who got difficult lab work last week. You don't know who was exhausted. You don't know who desperately needs community. You don't know who just had a really bad day and is praying for an answer. So when we decide 4 people, before we've even had that conversation, we're making decisions that don't belong to us. Our attitude in doing this is so simple. My job is not to decide. Your job is not to decide. My job is to offer. Their job is to decide. Okay, how many of you carry way too much information in your brains? All of us, right? I'm telling you right now, this action will simplify everything. The goal is not to predict or build a perfect list. Your goal is to simply get those names out of your head and onto the paper. So here's what I know today. Listen up. Every thriving business started with a list. It wasn't perfect, but the coaches who grow aren't the ones with the perfect memory. They're the ones who are willing to stop filtering. So remember this. Use speed and drop your judgment. You judgy judgers like me. Use speed to stop overthinking and just kick your judgment to the curb. Trust that if someone came to mind or if you saw their name pop up somewhere, there's probably a reason. Your list is not a sales list.
This is a list of people. It's a people list. People you get the opportunity to connect with, to serve, to encourage, and maybe, just maybe, to help change the direction of their lives. So remember, when you're writing your list, and you need a list, please make a list. No judgment, just write. Do y'all promise me that you'll make a list? Please, thank you. Thank you.
So good, so good. Hey friends, I get to start talking about step 2 of the blueprint, which is approach. And I've noticed this is where a lot of coaches get tripped up. Anybody feel this? It's this idea that, man, when I approach somebody, you hear it, it's like, oh, that means I've got to find someone, give them tons of information, and then hold my breath that they say yes. Many people think approaching means convincing someone, but that's not what we mean by approach. When we talk about approach, we have one goal. See who's open. That's it. Not who's ready, not who's going to say yes, and not even who's going to become your next client or coach. Just seeing who's open to having a conversation. One of the biggest misconceptions about this step is believing it's about convincing people. Some coaches think that if someone isn't ready to say yes, they must have done something wrong earlier in the process. But your job isn't to get everyone interested. Did you hear that? Your job isn't to get everyone interested or even persuade. Your job is simply to connect and discover who's open. Some people will be, some people won't, and that's okay. I have a beautiful baby girl who's 19 months old. Her name is Alana. We also call her baby Andrew. And I like to think of approach like offering her a feeding or a bottle when she was an infant. I'd offer it, and sometimes she'd take it. Sometimes she wouldn't. And guess what? I wasn't offended when she didn't want it. I didn't question myself or assume I had failed. I didn't think I was a bad mom if she didn't want a bottle. I simply recognized that she wasn't hungry at that moment. Because it wasn't about me. I wanted to serve her. And here's the part I don't want you to miss. When she was hungry, she knew exactly who to come to, Mama. She knew I had what she needed. Approach works the same exact way, friends. You make the offer without attaching your worth to the outcome. You simply make people aware that help and hope exist through you. So when their need becomes real enough, they'll know exactly who to come to. You. This is why approach isn't about you. It's the person you're serving. And the reality is, you've heard it said over and over again, friends, 93% of Americans need what we have. This is great news for approach. The vast majority of people that you're going to go to, they have a need, a dream, a goal that is connected to what we offer. The overwhelming majority needs you, the Trilivy coach. You can solve those things for them. Have you lost sight of who you were before your own transformation? What if the person who approached you had assumed things about you? Assumed you weren't interested? What if they had decided for you that you didn't need it? I am standing on this stage today because Marty approached Andrew McGuire in June 2020. That's why we don't qualify people before we've had a conversation. We don't decide who this is for. We simply identify, approach, and follow the course of the blueprint. And if you never approach people, you are going to cut off somebody's opportunity to say yes, and you're going to cut off the growth of your business. The goal isn't to get everyone interested. The goal is to find the people who already have a need, a problem, a goal, or a dream that connects with what we already do. Our businesses grow one approach, one conversation at a time. So you might be wondering, what are some practical ways to approach people? Well, since we've identified, Simple. You go to those people, ask if they have any current health goals they're working towards. Ask if they're open to learning more about your brand new company launch. Ask if they know anyone who's looking to improve their health or create another stream of income. Reconnect with someone you haven't talked to in a while just to check in. Invite someone to a health event, coffee chat, Zoom, or even a community gathering. Guys, offer your metabolic scan or a health assessment call. Share your own health journey naturally with people, and then ask them, hey, do you have any health goals that you're working towards? And this is one of the things that I can stress the most to you is get out from behind the screen and intentionally meet new people where you're already living your life. Just recently, I was at the nail salon, and ladies, great place to meet other ladies. Okay, I was at the nail salon, and I decided to be intentional about connecting with the women around me. I struck up a conversation with a woman sitting next to me, and guess what? She ended up completing my metabolic scan, and today she's all in. And that didn't happen because I had some perfect script waiting for me, because I was willing to approach her to have a conversation. So as you leave here today, I don't want you asking yourself, oh my goodness, who can I convince to join me? No, I want you asking yourself, who can I connect with? Every client, coach, transformation, and growing business starts with one person, you and me, who is willing to have a conversation, to approach someone. So don't wait until you feel perfectly prepared. Don't wait until you have the perfect words. Approach people and discover who's open.
Awesome. All right, great afternoon, Trilivy. All right, we're here to talk about my favorite step 3, the blueprint. Babe, you were supposed to like look at each other and like you swoon and I lean in for a kiss and no. Hey, bro's gotta try. Hey, I'm just saying, right? All right, that's not
What's the 3rd step in the blueprint?
Share.
Share.
There we go. All right, now, when most coaches hear that word, they immediately think, okay, this is where I explain like everything. The program, the products, the science, the compensation plan. Basically, we think share means talk.
Yeah. And if you're anything like me, when I first started coaching, and my health assessments would last an hour plus, you think, if I can just explain it well enough, if I can just answer every single question they have, if I can tell them maybe one more amazing fact or one more amazing story, they'll say yes. But actually, it turns out that's usually the fastest way to make someone say, I need to think about it.
Exactly. Because that's not the mindset behind share. The mindset behind share is something much simpler. We figure out why this person needs what we have. Everything changes when you make that shift.
Yep, and whether you're talking to a potential client or maybe a potential partner, this conversation isn't about what I want. It's not about what I know. It's not about what I think they need. It's about them. What's frustrating them? What's keeping them stuck? What have they already tried? What do they wish was different 6 months from now? Because people don't buy information. They're looking for solutions to problems they actually care about.
There you go. One of the biggest problems coaches fall into is replacing connection with just more information. We start teaching, we start explaining, we start telling facts. Now don't get me wrong, okay? Facts matter, science matters, the program matters, but facts really change lives.
Connection does. And when someone feels understood, they're willing to listen. When they feel heard, they're open to learning. And that's why the first mindset behind share is connection. Connection simply says, I'm more interested in understanding you than impressing you. And honestly, that's what people are starving for today. Someone who actually listens.
There you go. So when we've connected, now we're ready to share the second piece, exposure. Notice I didn't say presentation because our job isn't to explain every detail. It's simply to expose them to the right tool. Maybe it's a health assessment. Maybe it's a 3-minute video. Maybe it's an event. Maybe it's a testimony that sounds like their story.
Yeah, and I love this part because I think coaches put way too much pressure on themselves. They think they have to become the expert. Good news is, You don't. We have the tools that can be the expert. We're simply the guide. Our job is connecting the right person to the right tool at the right time.
Then comes my favorite part, and that's the awakening. Because there's something that begins to change. Maybe a potential client realizes, hey, maybe my weight isn't actually a problem. Maybe my metabolism is. Maybe I don't have to feel this way forever.
Yep. Or maybe a potential partner starts thinking, wait, I could actually do this. I could help people. I could create another stream of income. I could actually make a difference. We don't have to convince them. We simply help them see something they couldn't see before. That's awakening.
So if you remember one thing about Share, repeat these words with me. Connection,
Connection,
exposure,
exposure,
awakening.
awakening.
Before I tell them anything, I connect. I want to understand their story, their frustrations, their goals, their why. Because people don't care how much I know until they know how much I care.
Before I explain anything, I expose, not to everything, just the right tool, the right story, the right video, maybe the right event, the right next step. Because the tools are the expert. I'm simply a guide.
Exactly, and before I ever ask someone for a decision, I help create an awakening. I help them see a healthier future, a different way to live, a way to impact other people's lives, a possibility that they couldn't see 5 minutes earlier.
See, our goal is to create enough connection to provide the right exposure and help awaken them to what's possible. When we do that, people don't feel sold, they feel seen. When people